Are you ready? My lords, my ladies, everyone else here not sitting on a cushion? Oh,
that's a good one.
I bid thee good day. Prithee, watch what happens next.
We're talking about Shakespeare adapted for teenagers. We're drinking Irish breakfast tea. Oh man, we're getting punchy.
Oh, I love it when we get punchy.
These work so well. 10 Things I Hate About You, She's the Man. Get Over It, which if you, that one is like sort of less, I feel like it's less known.
It's less known. It is.
But definitely check it out if you don't know that one. That's the Midsummer Night's Dream.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. Do yourself a favor. Watch Get Over It. Much like covering a good song, when you change the set dressing of the piece or the style of the piece,
as you often have to do with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
People do it now.
As long as the story underneath is good, is solid, says something true about humanity, you're gonna end up with a good whatever.
I'd say there's no one who does story structure and talking about humanity. Few people. Like Shakespeare.
I think what's fun about this whole episode is that we really don't know. Like, we have ideas of why it works so well.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's something that's so fun to think about why the translation of the jokes and the beats and the sort of structural theater into the beats and the jokes in teen comedy, it's almost seamless that they just work kind of like, there's always a corollary, there's always that same beat.
The tragedies are a little more hit and miss maybe because there isn't quite the same formula for these tragedies.
I think there's an over-preciousing of the tragedies.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think that there's a sort of weightiness to the tragedies that getting punchy with Shakespeare's comedies, if you know what you're doing, feels so right. The number of dick jokes Shakespeare tells.
Shakespeare has so many dick jokes and so much actual Shakespeare theater with the original text just completely, I'm gonna say it butchers it. You just don't.
I'm gonna say we castrate those jokes.
I think what it is that we study Shakespeare in high school. And there's something so puritanical about not being able to talk about the sex jokes in a high school classroom.
In Shakespeare!
A lot of dicks.
I mean, the weird symptom of why 10 Things I Hate About You is such a great movie, they translated dick jokes into a counselor that is writing a romance novel.
And he gets a dick drawn on his face.
And he gets a dick drawn on his face. I mean, it's just that those filmmakers understood what they were doing. They made a good movie, but they also made a really stellar Shakespeare adaptation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's understanding the sex, actually.
Yeah.
Like that, and I think that's what teen movies do so well, is that tension and anxiety about having sex, about not having sex, about wanting to have sex but not wanting to have sex, like that sense of sex being all consuming, but also you don't want it to be all consuming, but then it is.
And I think something with Shakespeare lover
Plus
comedy and tragedy even, the comedies work so well because they get into that commedia base where we're making fun of the lovers. The lovers are the butt of the joke. Romeo and Juliet should be the butt of the joke until
it just gets too dark.
Everything gets fucked up.
And then you can't laugh.
Yeah,
it's
but
horrible.
they should be a little bit ridiculous.
I think in Act 1 we open with Romeo talking about Rosaline and we're laughing at him. I don't know if anyone else
The play is called Romeo and Juliet.
So we're just like, Romeo.
The fuck is this?
Romeo.
And in that sense, that's a way that Romeo plus Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann teen adaptation, really nailed these are two ridiculous teens in hormones.
And teens love that. I mean, I still love that movie as a teenager.
And West Side Story, though it is great, falls into the precious trap, turns that into real true love forever. And, I mean, it's mitigated, I think, a little bit by the fact that Maria does not die in the end. Sorry, spoilers.
Watch that movie.
But, where she's allowed to grow up and out of her obsession with Tony.
Speaking of hormone-fueled, I want to talk about cross-dressing. She's the man.
She's the man. Treat yourself. Watch this movie.
Early Channing Tatum.
Tatum.
Early Amanda Bynes.
I mean, Amanda Bynes did such a great job with the awkward jokes,
Yeah.
the jokes of like
The
making a
gawky
mistake,
comedy.
the
Over the
mistakes
top.
of like forgetting to perform masculinity
Yeah.
in key
Treat yourself.
moments.
Overperforming
The tampon
masculinity.
joke is incredible.
So good. So good.
The follow-up of the tampon joke is
Yeah.
especially...
Yeah, Channing Tatum's physical comedy is fantastic in that movie too.
knows how to
I
use his
don't know.
body.
I mean, I feel like if you watched that movie, you knew Channing Tatum was gonna explode.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah, it was like, when's that gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
And in a comedy way also, in addition to like the he's a hunk of man.
But he was funny, and he was willing to make fun of his hunk of man self
Yeah.
for
as
the
he,
joke.
as he continues to do throughout his career.
Right,
So
like-
who are we gonna read, elect, and supply? Like Shakespearean heroines.
Sure.
Teen
Wait,
girls.
the teen girl version?
Yeah, the teen girl version.
I want Bianca to have an army.
Viola, right?
Viola.
Yeah,
Viola.
let's elect Viola.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I'll do it.
I
We
mean,
gotta read it.
Kat already is writing a
She
ton.
doesn't need an army either.
No.
But-
No, that is one angry teen girl I won't give an army.
Yeah.
I give her a band. Express those
Okay.
feelings.
Write some lyrics.
Maybe one day even a tambourine, but not an army.
I want her to like come to intersectional feminism.
Her white girl feminism
She-
is perfect though.
It
But
really
she,
is.
yeah, like,
It's
she's
amazing.
so young. I feel like
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
she's
Yeah.
just gonna.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on YouTube.
The most
Cheers.
perfect of, yeah, on that note.